Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Training camp is officially back, Broncos country, and sweet mother of mercy, do we have a mountain of news to get through. Denver just pulled off a stunning cap space maneuver that nobody saw coming. There's finally real, verified, back-to-back good news breaking on Bo Nix's ankle situation, straight from the people closest to him. And on top of all that, one of the most beloved, toughest players on this entire roster just did something so selfless, so team-first, that it's going to make you want to run out and buy his jersey right now. Buckle up, because this is one of those weeks where the vibes in Denver are so immaculate it's almost hard to process it all in one sitting. Let's set the scene. Training camp opened today, and that means beat reporters and insiders suddenly have way more access to players, coaches, and the inner workings of this organization. And within hours of doors opening, a story broke that had Broncos country buzzing. Remember, this offensive line has quietly been one of the best-kept secrets in the entire NFL. Bo Nix has been one of the least sacked quarterbacks in professional football, largely because Denver has maintained remarkable continuity up front every single season he's been under center. A massive piece of that puzzle has been left guard Ben Powers, and Sean Payton knew it from the jump. In fact, going out and signing Ben Powers was reportedly one of the very first moves Sean Payton made after arriving in Denver. That's how much he valued him. Now here's where the story gets almost unbelievable. Powers battled a bicep injury that sidelined him for a stretch last season. Then, in his very first game back from that bicep injury, he suffered a Lisfranc injury, one of the most painful foot injuries a football player can endure. For context, that's the exact same type of injury that knocked running back J.K. Dobbins out for the remainder of last season. Most players would have shut things down. Ben Powers did not. He played through it, he gutted it out, and by most accounts, including reporting from respected voices like Mike Kliss and Luka Evans, he still performed at a Pro Bowl level for a significant chunk of the season, anchoring an offensive line that was, by the numbers, the best in football. Let that sink in for a second. A guy playing through a Lisfranc injury, arguably the most agonizing lower body injury in the sport, still graded out as an elite offensive lineman. If that doesn't earn a jersey purchase, nothing will. But it doesn't stop there. Because of that injury history, there had been rampant speculation all offseason that Ben Powers could be a cap casualty, a trade chip, maybe even a cut candidate as Denver looked to clean up its books. Instead, Powers did something remarkable. He agreed to restructure his contract, a team-friendly move he absolutely did not have to make. Reports haven't nailed down the exact figure yet, with estimates ranging anywhere from a modest $3 million in savings on the low end all the way up to $8 million according to salary cap analysts at Over the Cap. If that higher number holds, it would push the Broncos to somewhere in the neighborhood of $40 million in available cap space. $40 million. Think about what that kind of financial flexibility means heading into the heart of a Super Bowl window. With that kind of war chest, Denver suddenly has options that other contenders would kill for. It becomes realistic to retain nearly every one of their own impending free agents. We're talking about players like Riley Moore and Brandon Jones potentially all staying in the fold, or alternatively letting one walk or shipping one out in a trade while still comfortably affording a piece like Marvin Mims long-term. This is the kind of financial cushion that turns tough decisions into easy decisions. And for a front office that has been aggressive and calculated under George Paton and Sean Payton, that is an incredibly dangerous weapon to hand them heading into the back half of the offseason. And here's the thing that makes this whole situation even sweeter. Even in a world where Ben Powers eventually moves on, or where something unfortunate happens to him or to Quinn Miners, Denver already has insurance built in. Enter Alex Palchevsky, who last season stepped in admirably when Powers was sidelined with that bicep injury and looked completely comfortable doing it. Paljewski gives this coaching staff a rare luxury, a versatile swing guard capable of sliding in at either spot without the offense skipping a beat. So Denver didn't just clear cap space. They cleared cap space while running back the best offensive line in football, fully intact, with quality depth sitting right behind it. It genuinely could not have worked out better. Now, is there a downside buried in here somewhere? Sure, if you want to nitpick. If both Powers and Miners were to depart down the road, that would eventually put rookie Cage Casey in a position of needing to develop fast, and while there's plenty of belief in his upside, asking a rookie to anchor a Super Bowl caliber offensive line is no small task. But that's a hypothetical problem for a different day. Right now, this is a franchise sitting on a mountain of cap space with a Super Bowl-ready roster already in place, and it's fair to wonder what else that cash could be used for. Just look around the league. Vita Vea reportedly requested a trade out of Tampa Bay as he seeks a new contract. Could Denver, sitting on $40 million in space with a roster that was arguably one broken ankle away from a Super Bowl run last season, make a serious push for a difference maker like that? It's not far-fetched, and that's exactly why the energy in Denver feels different this summer. Speaking of Denver being smart with its timing, notice how this franchise handled the run-up to training camp itself. Sean Payton knows exactly how good and how experienced this roster is, and that showed in how Denver approached the offseason calendar. This team pushed its offseason program as late as the collective bargaining agreement allowed and was among the very last teams in the league to open training camp. Why rush installation and playbook reps for a group that already has continuity most franchises would envy? The first padded practice is set for Saturday, marking the much-anticipated return to football, and tickets for fans to attend camp reportedly sold out almost instantly on Ticketmaster. That tells you everything about the appetite in this fan base right now. Now let's get to the story every single Broncos fan has been desperate to hear more about: Bo Nix's ankle. All offseason, national media narratives tried to spin this into some kind of soap opera. You heard it all. Bo Nix would never be the same. There was supposedly tension between Nix and Sean Payton. Payton was allegedly downplaying the severity of the injury to the public. Almost none of it held up, and frankly, that shouldn't surprise anyone who understands how this league works. When a team rises to the top, everyone wants to find a crack in the foundation. It's a predictable pattern, one echoed by reporters who cover other elite quarterbacks and teams around the league, where success invites scrutiny and scrutiny invites manufactured drama. And the receipts keep piling up in Denver's favor. Nix has been posting workout footage that shows him moving exactly like the explosive, dynamic quarterback Broncos fans fell in love with. Then came the real confirmation. In a detailed sit-down interview, Nix's personal trainer addressed the bone spur removal procedure directly and made it clear this was never the catastrophic setback that outside voices tried to paint it as. That matches exactly what both Nix and Payton said from the very beginning. The people closest to the situation were telling the truth the entire time. And the people trying to create chaos from the outside were simply wrong. For a fan base that spent months anxious about their franchise quarterback's recovery, that is about as reassuring as news gets heading into camp. That same conversation with Nix's trainer also gave us a glimpse into something else entirely: how genuinely excited Bo Nix is about his new toy in the passing game, Jaylen Waddle. In a moment that's already becoming a fan-favorite quote, Nix reportedly joked that he might need to get the ball out even earlier than usual to Waddle, because in his words, the guy even walks fast. Anyone who's watched Waddle's tape understands exactly what Nix means. This is a receiver who can align outside, work the slot, motion into the backfield, and separate from coverage in ways this Broncos offense simply has not had access to in years. There's a fascinating detail that surfaced about how Sean Payton evaluates talent around the league. Reportedly, every single Monday morning, Payton reviews every touchdown scored across the NFL from the weekend before and categorizes each one. Was it a brilliant piece of scheme, a chess move that outsmarted a defense? Or was it simply a special player doing something no scheme could replicate? Jaylen Waddle fits firmly into that second category. And it's the first time in a long while that Denver has had a receiver who fits that description. Look at what Waddle did against two of the AFC's most established programs. Against the Patriots, Waddle posted around 700 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns across 10 games. Against the Bills, he was nearly as productive, racking up close to 700 yards and 5 touchdowns in 10 games against them as well. Considering that the path through the AFC to a Super Bowl very likely runs directly through Buffalo and New England, having a proven Bills slayer and Patriots slayer now lined up in Denver's offense is not just exciting, it might be the single most important addition of the entire offseason. So as training camp gets underway, Denver walks in with its full starting offensive line intact, a wide receiver room that might be the deepest and most talented this franchise has fielded in years, and a franchise quarterback who is fully healthy and clearly thrilled about his new supporting cast. Insiders expect a few more roster moves to surface as camp progresses, which has become the signature pattern under this front office duo. It's the kind of calculated aggression that has defined the George Paton and Sean Payton partnership, and it's part of why this fan base hasn't felt energy like this in a training camp in years. Arguably not since the days of watching the taillights and wondering whether a certain legendary quarterback wearing number 18 might come to town. And why shouldn't the vibes be sky high? This roster is loaded, the front office is aggressive, and this franchise now has the backing of arguably the richest ownership group in all of professional sports. Even off the field, the signs are everywhere. One player's family recently shared footage touring the new Broncos training facility, kids in tow, showing off what may be the most impressive player and family facility in the entire league, complete with rooftop lounges where families can watch practice unfold in real time. When players are proudly showing off their workplace to their own families, you know something special is being built behind the scenes. Denver rolls into this training camp with a fortified offensive line, a suddenly explosive receiver room, a healthy and locked-in quarterback, mountains of cap flexibility, and a front office that shows no signs of standing pat. Every piece of this puzzle is pointing in the same direction, and that direction is straight toward a Super Bowl push. If you've been waiting for a season to fully buy in, this is it. If this breakdown fired you up the way it fired us up, do us a favor and smash that like button, drop a comment telling us who you think benefits most from this cap space windfall, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a single update from training camp all the way through the playoffs. This is Brink